Everybody can hear me? Yes. Good morning. Thank you very much all for coming. My name is Pierre Houillet. I'm the Vice President for Finance, Resources and Operations at the University of British Columbia and a huge personal supporter of UBC as a living lab, which we'll come back to later today. I'm delighted to be your MC for this morning and for the official announcement of the partnership that will bring, I think, significant benefits for both UBC and its partners, and I think ultimately to communities worldwide. To begin this morning, I'd like to welcome on behalf of UBC a number of special guests. Pleased to have UBC President Stephen Toop, as well as the chairman of the Alpha Group, Mr. Fred Kaiser. Welcome home, Mr. Kaiser. The CEO of Corvus Energy, Mr. Brent Perry, and the head of UBC's Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering, Dr. Andrei Ivanov. I'd like to also acknowledge a number of guests in the assistance who are all instrumental in bringing this partnership to fruition today. Jeff Davenport, formerly of Alpha Technologies, and now with Corvus. Lots of connections between both companies. Dan Craig from Corvus Energy, Victor Gonsalves of Alpha Technologies, and my colleagues Brent Soder, Karen Koyama, Darren Harrington, and the Dean Eric Hall of UBC Applied Science, who is not here today, but has been instrumental for making this project happen as well. Without any of you, we wouldn't be here today. Thank you. So now I'm delighted to introduce UBC's President and Vice Chancellor, Professor Stephen Toop, to deliver this partnership news.
I also want to add an acknowledgement to one recovering politician who's here, Mike Harcourt, who serves as chair as Corvus. It's wonderful to have you here, Mike, and you've been just such an inspiration for us here at UBC in helping us push towards the living lab concept. So thank you very much, and thank you, Pierre. I must say, I always feel odd when I'm welcomed as a guest to one of our buildings. I think, I don't know, I'm not sure that's exactly right, but in any event, I'm delighted to be here, and I'm delighted to be here particularly with Fred Kaiser and Brent Perry. Friends, honored guests, it is really an honor and a pleasure to announce today that the University of British Columbia has entered into a new and really innovative partnership with Alpha Technologies and Corvus Energy. This collaboration brings power and energy together with the dynamism that UBC embodies through learning, research, and contribution to the community. And I think that this is really about the enrichment of our whole community. That's what excites me about this promise today. Now, Alpha, as I'm sure you know, is the Greek word for beginning. It also invokes the idea of leadership, as in alpha personality. Corvus is the Latin word for the family of birds who are known in First Nations mythologies as bringers of the light at the beginning of time. There's also a constellation of stars, which we won't see today, called Corvus, that lights up our southern skies. The Alpha Group and the Kaiser Foundation have been strong supporters of UBC for over a decade. And this building, of course, is just one clear manifestation of their support. Corvus provides a new infusion of energy to us at UBC today, and this arrival is very welcome. Here on campus, as Pierre indicated, we call UBC a living laboratory. And today's partnership has, I think, the potential to catapult this laboratory into another stage of evolution. We're already well on our way to integrating UBC operations with academics to create a fully sustainable ecosystem both here and at our Okanagan campus. Everything we do now is aimed at solving local, national, and global sustainability challenges at a scalable, commercially viable level. That's what the living laboratory concept is all about. But we, of course, can't meet that goal alone as a university. In fact, we are exponentially more successful with partnership. Power, energy, learning, discovery, contribution, all in one place, this living laboratory. The partnership we announced today brings Alpha and Corvus experts together with university faculty and student researchers to integrate energy storage into 3 locations on our campus to create a community power grid. Surplus power will be harnessed and stored for times of high use and for emergency backup, allowing the university to much more efficiently and economically manage our energy use. That is a huge benefit. Now, imagine that and the applications of the technology to the whole of Vancouver. Imagine clean, efficient, and stable power grids that can prevent widespread blackouts in times of emergency. Imagine being able to keep hospitals and other vital services online in times of crisis. That's the vision between this partnership, and of course it extends globally, because the applications are not just in the developed world, but in the developing world as well. That's the vision behind this partnership, and it has, as I said, worldwide aspirations. The funds that will create this work, power it, so to speak, are the gifts of Alpha Technologies and Corvus Energy. Over $2 million worth of key equipment matched by funding from the National Resources Canada, UBC Operations, and the Faculty of Applied Science. Funds donated by the Fred Kaiser Alternative Energies Endowment also provide continuing support. So today marks another beginning in industry-academic partnership, and the leadership that you have shown will, I think, light the way for others to follow. That is our sincere hope. So Fred, Brent, on behalf of UBC and all of the communities that we serve together, thank you. Thank you.
There are many reasons for me to be here today. One of them is, of course, I'm the VP Operations, so I see the potential significant impact that you're going to have on my portfolio. Thank you. We have very ambitious goals of reducing the greenhouse gas emissions on this campus by 33% in 2015. We started the clock in 2010, and we are going to be there for sure. Beyond that, for me, I think the excitement is the Living Lab is an excuse to really work with local companies, help you be successful, demonstrate in DC. It's, I think, really important to win at home before you take over the world, and we'll be right there with you. So thank you, Stephen, for your introductions. And on this note, it's my pleasure to introduce Fred Kaiser, Chairman of the Alpha Group, to talk about Alpha's role in the partnership.
Good morning, and thank you very much. And connecting directly to President Toop's remark about energy, we need to remember as we sit here and as we enjoy all the conveniences and all the creature comforts, just look at one continent, look at Africa. Out of 1 billion people, 800 million have no access to electricity, to electrical energy. So there's a lot of work to be done out there. President Toop, the UBC entire team, our partners from Corvus, and distinguished guests. It's an honor to be standing here in the building where somebody put my name on for the occasion, I think, here. As I mentioned before on certain occasions, initially I was actually fighting having my name on the building. I figured the Alpha building or the Alpha Technology building would be much more appropriate. But it's like in politics, Mike, you got to make compromises, so finally convinced me, and it was actually the former dean that said, no, we want your name on it, and I'm certainly honored, humbled and delighted for that. I've been fortunate enough to be involved in the power business, in the energy business for the past 40 years right here in Vancouver. And what really makes my day, to be honest with you, when I decided to get into energy and into power, my friends that were smarter than me, they went into designing satellite receivers. They designed all kinds of fancy equipment, and powering was kind of mundane. But you know what? In those 30, 40 years, the world has changed. Doesn't matter how sophisticated your system, doesn't matter what it is. If it doesn't have reliable, efficient power, it's not going to work. And a lot of people found it out actually the hard way, and I can bring you examples as long as my arm, where people designed phenomenal products and did fall down because the little power supply they stuck in there was a discount thing they bought somewhere, and it failed. So reliable power in the time when we communicate more, when we automate more, when we basically do a lot of things that are just not possible without reliable power. So what we've been doing all along is whatever we have started, we have looked at what can we do better. And I think it behooves us all to always look at continuous improvement. How can we improve ourselves? How can we improve our products? How can we improve our services? We've been pushing limits such as efficiency up to, I think the Corvus unit here is, what about the Alpha unit is? 95%, 96% efficient. So we are getting there, and don't underestimate the impact, A, in terms of economics, like to go from 90 to 95% in an air-conditioned environment, you earn your investment back in 5 years just on the energy savings. And this is at normal rates where we're paying anywhere from 6, 8, 10 cents a kilowatt hour. Go into the Caribbean Islands and you're paying 30, 40, 50 cents a kilowatt hour. Now this different type of dimension where it really has a great impact to improve the efficiency. But as we always point out, it's the economics clearly, but at the same time, the environmental impact is so positive. It does the right things. I give you a little example where I blew myself away. In an apartment building where we had those 50-watt halogen lights, I said, that doesn't make sense. And we were paying a lot of money for power, especially down in the Caribbean. So we brought those 5-watt LED lights and replaced them, almost the same light density. And we saved in the first year 1,000 lamps at about $5 cost, an investment of $5,000. We saved between $30,000 and $40,000 in the first year on energy. So economically, I wouldn't know a better return on investment. And in terms of environmental, this is less power that has to be produced, and all the power comes actually from fossil fuels. So it's tremendous reduction in CO2 tonnage that's being put out. So getting back to the subject here, the Living Lab provides us even with more of a unique opportunity to make an immediate impact while also providing us with access to world-class resources in an environment where learning and experimentation can be freely pursued. The Alpha team is truly excited to be part of this tremendous initiative. We are committed to work with our UBC and Corvus partners to really make a difference. And I thank you for all your help and support. And you know, the one thing we always have lived by, it's a very simple motto: do well and do good. And thank you very much for your support.
Do well and do good, and reliable power. Although you're preaching to the choir when there is a power outage on campus, believe me, my cell phone rings. So thanks for the reminder. On that note, I will invite Mr. Brent Perry to talk about Corvus, our role in the partnership as well. Thank you.
Welcome. First, I would like to thank our partners in this project. It has been a